Hi. So you've made your claim for compensation for the purposes of the reduction in the value to the adjacent land caused by the taking order, and you're also making a claim for the value of the land that's the subject of the taking. I mentioned in the previous video that you are entitled to compensation for the land taken, disregarding any increase in or decrease in the value of that land caused by the proposed public work. What this means is that you can claim the compensation value for the taken land, but if the taken land is proposed to be taken by the government and results in an increase in that value of that land, you can't then say that the government ought to pay you for the increase caused by the proposed public work. I know that this seems very unfair to some landowners, and in fact it does have an unfair effect, because a person whose land is not the subject of the taking immediately adjacent to you doesn't have to give up any of their land, but they can increase or enjoy the increases in the value of their land caused by a public work. For example, if a government is proposing to take land for a railway, the value of the land you're having taken may be simply worked out on rural value, because that was all that the land had the potential of, disregarding that particular railway. But with the railway in place, it might be a train station, and there may be adjacent to the train station other proposed increases in density, which results in the increase in the value of that land. That, however, doesn't mean that you calculate the value of the land that you've had taken from you, taking into account the increase in the value caused by the railway. Or it could be a highway, which means that the land is accessible, which previously wasn't accessible and now has an increase in its value as a result of the accessibility caused by that particular highway. It doesn't mean that you receive an increase in the value of the land caused by the increased value by the accessibility. However, this shouldn't be overemphasised, because sometimes the land actually doesn't receive a benefit at all caused by a proposed public work. The land may have already been accessible by other major infrastructure and roads, or it may already have been identified for a higher and better use, quite apart from the proposed taking of the land for the purposes of the public work. It is necessary in many instances to receive detailed planning advice, which is known as expert evidence, to ensure that the true value of the land is determined. To get expert evidence to determine the true value of the land is a difficult business. It requires an expert to be properly instructed, and that's going to be the subject of the next video.